Welcome to Jets Chaos. I am Jeremy, and I bring the chaos. We're going to be back real soon. We have a great show. By popular demand, I have a couple of hot sauces on hand. We'll see if I'm going to be eating any of it. But more importantly, we're going to be talking about the after effects. The earthquake has stopped. We were in depression. We were solemn. Now it's time to move forward. What are we going to do on our offensive line? How does this affect the rest of the team? What happened in training camp today? We're going to talk all about that next. I would regret it if people look back at the first episode and you weren't on it.
Yeah, well, I like that. It's called forward thinking.
One of the worst beats in the world. We do. Our beat is horrible.
Connor could shove that article up his ass.
And then I went to that game, and I was like, this is the greatest team I've ever seen in my life. I'm a Jet fan. This is going to be the greatest run ever. Yeah.
No, because if they take Aquanu, I'm not complaining.
Joe Douglas is the king of keeping shit close to the vest.
A 2, a 4, and a 6 for Darnold?
Did the Jets really ruin Sam Darnold, or did Sam Darnold just suck all along and we were just trying to talk ourselves into it?
And Hamilton is a player who can potentially make a very big impact.
And suddenly here we are today, you can't get rid of him.
Right, it's like a plague.
Joe Douglas was hired because he's not those general managers.
Okay, Luscious.
Somebody is going to fall just like Elijah Moore did, just like Michael Carter did.
You know, what would, if you had one sentence to say to Joe Douglas, what would you say? So you would say, you had me at hello, and then give him a big old wet one right on the smack.
All right. Well, that was fun. Let's say hello to some people in the chat. Then we'll bring on our guests. Daniel Faust, I think, was the first one in here. Thanks, Daniel. That's my guy, my buddy, hooking me up, helping me out, supporting me. Love him. Grandizer, as always, thank you so much for your support. That's right. I do have a membership thing set up now. You could become a snacker. I already have a light snacker and a couple of medium snackers. So if you want to find out about being a snacker, just look at the subscription button. There should be a little join button. It's not there for everyone. We're trying to figure that out. But if it's there, you just hit the join button and figure out how to become a snacker. That is not true. Not true. But you know what? It's like you're similar to the Jets media, you know? Harlan Anderson, what's going on? We're going to find out what we do and how we handle adversity. What's up, Jets Mess? Good friend of mine. Justin Jets. Yes, I'm waiting for a signing. And we're going to talk about that for sure. We might see one of those guys. We'll see. I mean, they've been on a lot. They got their own channel, so it's hard to pull them every Wednesday. But, they're always welcome if they want to come on. GVH, what's going on, my friend? John Hepburn, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. Dark Soldier, the show can start now. We got our crew. And Jets New York 102 in the house. All electric, no break. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, without further ado, though, we have to move forward. People are wondering. It's enough saying hello. They want to see some Jets talk. But to have Jets talk, I need my co-host. So let's bring him in. He is the pizza eating, Pop-Tart eating, ham and egg eating, the pink clam eating, mozzarella stick eating, president of the Virginia Jets Sports Fan Club, the man who has the stats, the man who has the facts, the hot dog eating champion of the Jets contest. Watch it, K99.
And tonight I am wearing a vintage Virginia Jets fans t-shirt. This is the fireman look. We've got the navy blue with the gold lettering. We're going with some old school Titans look. Why? because right now it feels like this franchise is on fire, and Jeremy and I are here to help not put the fires out, but just trying to make them like a gentle roar instead of the whole forest going up in flames. So we are going to attempt to do that. We shall see where it goes tonight. But we are in a very crazy time right now as Jets fans. We've got a game in 2 nights. Guys, 2 nights. It's really coming. So while we will face some bad news, there will always be adversity coming along the way. We on to the next man up, and let's see where we go. How you doing tonight, Jeremy?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better. Yesterday was a difficult day, but I've put things in perspective. I believe that we can be okay on the offensive line. I mean, obviously, that'll be a big talk. And, there's an opportunity here that our friend Tigo is going to look very, very smart, because we'll talk about it, whether they're just, kind of pumping the kid up as a negotiation tactic, or is this kid going to be the real deal? He's one of the guys I'm going to be looking at Friday. I cannot wait. His name is Max Mitchell, and there might be an opportunity for this kid to play right away. And if he steps up and starts doing a great job as a rookie right from the start, we might have ourselves something to celebrate.
Wouldn't that be the ideal situation? Well, Coach Salo was talking him up today in the press conference, saying how impressed they are. They knew he had raw potential, they said, but he says he's a lot farther along, Max Mitchell is, than where they expected him to be. So that is encouraging. Although I'm wondering if he was disappointing. I wonder how he would spin that one. Something like, well, he's continuing to work with him on it. We like what his potential is. But Salah had some pretty specific praise for Eminem. And Friday's going to tell us a whole lot. Adoga's going to be in for a little bit. Mitchell's going to be in for a little bit. McDermott will not be in. And I think that game is going to tell us a lot about what is happening. I don't expect any offensive line signings this week. I think they want to see what they have, and they want to see if Adoga or Mitchell can hold the fort. Hopefully it is a matter of just this defensive line being so good that they are going to make this offensive line that much better. But I have a feeling if this game goes badly, if Zach Wilson's under pressure during the 1-2 series that he is on the field, there will be a signing or trade of some kind by the end of the weekend. That is my thought.
Okay, so hey, I don't want to make any promises. I ordered a package. I'm trying to see if it's going to work. I am going to see if we can look next week or after the game, maybe on Sunday, maybe Wednesday, whenever. I'm trying to get the all 22. I'm trying to set it up that I could play the all 22. And if I can, my first focus after that game is going to be to compare Chuma and Max Mitchell. So if we can't see it with our eyes, because they don't always focus that on in the game, we'll be able to focus in on it afterwards and really look at the tape, see how both of those players did and who's ahead of who right now in their career. Remember, it's not the end of the world if Chuma's a little better right now at this moment than Max Mitchell, just because of experience and knowing the system. It's okay. It doesn't mean that Max Mitchell is not going to shoot past them, this season or next season or whenever, and have a much bigger ceiling. But there's always a possibility that Chuma is going to be the better option early on, simply because he knows this offensive scheme.
Our standards for Max Mitchell cannot change based off Mekhi Becton getting hurt. A week ago, if you were to ask most Jets fans, if you were to ask most of the folks here in the chat, to ask me, well, what do you want from Max Mitchell this year? Just become the third tackle. Hopefully we don't need to see him on the field because Mekhi Becton and George Fant will be on the field all year. Well, we know one we will not see this season. Now we got to pray George Fant stays healthy, because if Fant goes, then you can really start to sound the alarm bells. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I know I hate to even bring that thought up, but we have to face that it is something that we could see at some point during the year. Yeah. So, yeah. So for me, even regardless, you have to get another tackle in here. You cannot count on what we have right now, especially when you have invested so much in this offense, not just this year, but the year prior. This is a chance for it to all come together right now. while you have Zach for a very reasonable contract, and you have good cost control of the veterans on the team, and you have so many rookies. This is a great time, and we cannot let this one injury to Mekhi Becton disturb all of it.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I think that we have to just move on. I think, there's a chance we sign. If we sign somebody, let's say Max Mitchell plays really well.
Okay.
And he's faster than we expected. He looks really good, gets everybody a little bit excited, right? We sign a guy like Dwayne Brown or make a trade, and we bring in some proven, experienced tackle. We stick him in there. We really solved two problems in that whole transaction, because we possibly just got our starting tackle, but we also now have a lot more excitement and, belief in Max Mitchell that maybe he is our swing tackle. It's very hard to imagine Max Mitchell wins the job and we don't make any moves, and we have Max Mitchell at right tackle and Chuma as our swing. Like that's disturbing to me.
I can't. And here's the thing: offensive line is not a position where you rotate players. It's interesting. It's one of the few positions where you really need you need more continuity there than you do any other place on the field. Linebacker, defensive line, second. There's no place you need it more than on the offensive line. So it's not like a position where you're going to bring this player in for third downs or this player in for running situations or whatever the case may be. Both of these guys should get, I think, half the time. Let's see one of them prove themselves. I'll tell you this, though. They better play better than we've seen Connor McDermott play, because if Connor McDermott is our best option at right tackle when he comes back, I'm going to be terrified. I cannot bear to watch Connor McDermott play unless he's going out for one pass a game. That's about the extent of Connor McDermott that I need to see on the football field. I don't need an all 22 to let me know that Connor McDermott should not be starting.
Look, well, the game on Friday is going to be telling. Well, I mean, to an extent, it's going to give us some idea. If Max Mitchell just gets owned, I mean, we know we're in trouble. If Chuma and if they both get owns, and we're going to watch it. Like I said, if we can't see it watching the game, we're going to see it as long as I get that all 22 and NFL Plus is not, is not screwing me over. I will play it and we will analyze it ourselves and we'll break it down and we'll see for ourselves, on Sunday, what we're dealing with and what we got. So, but we definitely, I wouldn't mind if we brought in two. I agree that would be the ideal scenario. To me, there's no question we have to bring in some veteran proven guy that's at least average or hopefully better. Now, if we only get a guy that's considered a middle of the road average right tackle, it's actually okay. It's not as good as it was supposed to be, but it's actually okay, because there's no rule that says to be a winning or a great team, you have to have 5 great people at their position. You could have AVT, Tomlinson, Fant, all way above average, all really good. You could have McGovern, who's solid, if not a little better than average or average. If you have a right tackle that's average and experienced, that knows this scheme or is okay in the scheme, and they gel together and they run the scheme the way it's supposed to be ran, we can be fine and okay. It might not be what we're going to need in the future if we ever want to make a real run at the Super Bowl, but it could be okay to protect Zach. It could be okay to take the next step and to improve as a football team. And then we'll have a whole offseason next year to address tackle for real for the long term.
What we can have is the second coming of Wayne Hunter at right tackle, where he just became a human turnstile and he wrecked the offensive line. Because one player can wreck an offensive line. It's okay if you just need them to be reliably decent. It's not fair to ask for, you name the right tackle, whoever the best tackles are. We don't need Anthony Munoz. Because he played right tackle to protect like Boomer Esiason on the left side. So we're not asking for that, but we are asking for somebody who can at least hold a block and is not going to get completely embarrassed. And, we just need to give Zach like an extra second to throw than what he had last year. I don't really think that's asking too much from him. So there are options out there. There's free agents out there. There are trade candidates. And if you'd like, we can get into a bunch of them tonight. But I will say this. Where I am right now, I know that Becton had been struggling a little bit in pass protection. But what he could do in the running game, especially next to Vera Tucker, that could have been the catalyst for that offense to be. That could have been the foundation of that offense. Is runs to the right behind those two behemoths. They don't have that right now.
Yep.
For me to really believe in this offense right now, I need something new at right tackle, and Caleb Benenoch is not it. Like we talked about on Monday when you and I were on with on Harrison, when we were on his show, I looked at his bio and Mr. Benenoch's bio, and he migrated him and his mom to Katy, Texas from Nigeria. Okay, this guy's from Nigeria, and his mom signed him up for football tryouts thinking it was actually soccer. They didn't know what American football was. It is an accident that Caleb Benenoch is currently in the NFL. It is not meant to be. Guys, it is not meant to work out. He is not going to make the 53-man roster. If he does, God forbid what happens over the next month. So, yeah, another player is absolutely needed. I don't think it's going to be two. I think that's too much, unless you bring somebody in, another veteran for a very low amount of money. But give me something like a Darrell Williams, even if not a Dwayne Brown, but like a Darrell Williams, maybe a Brandon Shell, Eric Fisher, Brian Balega. There's all these guys we can go through. But what we have right now, I'm sorry, I'm going to be very scared if this is what we are dealing with when we face Baltimore September 11th in MetLife Stadium.
So Blitz BK brings up, he says, what do you guys think of bringing Brandon Shell back? So it sounds like you're open to it.
I'm open to most things right now, to giving a lot of different players a chance. He's shown some progress. I mean, let's see. Well, I know I have to say this with a grain of salt. PFF ranked him their number 16 right tackle in 2021 and their number 13 in 2020, but he's missed 12 games over the last 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. But you know what? As long as he can at least hold the fort for a little bit, while if that gives like Mitchell some time to get more acclimated and whatnot, you know what? I would take a chance. I would wonder how much he is really looking for, but am I open to the idea? I got to be open to it. There's very few free agents that I could think of at right tackle where I would be like, absolutely not. I'd rather see Connor McDermott or Chuma Edoga. That idea just has me very uncomfortable. So I got to be open-minded to just about anybody right now.
Well, Dark Soldier's asking about Darrell Williams.
From the Bills, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Darrell Williams, I don't know. I mean, they just signed him for 3 years, $24 million Buffalo did, and then they let him go 1 year later. So that contract didn't exactly work out. Now, he was a top 10 right tackle in 2020, but he had a bad 2021. So with Darrell Williams, he's 30 years old as of the end of August. I'm a little less excited about Darrell Williams. I guess I would give him I give him a 2-year deal, but an easy out after 1. Because again, we got to factor this in too. George Fant is a free agent after this season. We can't just think about this year. We have to think long term. What is Becton after this year? Will he play next year? Are we keeping George Fant? I'm sure with Becton's injury, his price tag just went up also. We don't want to go into next offseason needing 2 starting tackles. That is a scary thought. The development of Max Mitchell is going to be vital. Williams, to me, it's worth an idea, but his inconsistency doesn't have me very confident.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm hoping that somehow we work out a long-term deal with Fant once the season starts. And we get the left tackle spot at the very least taken care of, or right tackle, because he could play both. But just lock that in for them. Like if we lock that in for like a 3-year deal, which I think is fine because it's not like he has a ton of mileage on him. I think then we get this. Then we get to just focus on the one position, like for who's going to be the future starter, like who's going to be the long-term guy. Maybe it'll be Max Mitchell, but if he doesn't work out, because he might end up just, his ceiling might be to be the swing tackle. We don't know. But let's get Fant locked up because I don't want to have 3 question marks. So let's get him locked up. Then we make our move and we determine who our tackle is going to be on the other side. And then you have Max Mitchell. And don't forget, I'm not counting on him. I think at this point we can't anymore. And we have to just kind of just say whatever we get is great. If it happens, it happens. There's still a possibility. Exactly a year from now, we're looking at a healthy Becton on the field and excited to have him back. It's I mean, Salah said it himself, his story's not over. They didn't say it was a career-ending injury. We still have him on his rookie contract through next year before we have to make any decisions about extensions. That's at the end of this year. So he's ours next year, and he doesn't cost us a lot or a ton. There's no reason why people should be saying Becton's gone. He's not gone. I'm no longer going to rely on him, but there's a chance that I'm saying it again. This time next year, he might be looking great, and he might be in camp, and we might be super excited about him. So it's not an impossibility.
You can't guarantee a starting spot for him, though, at this point.
Definitely not. We can't.
No,
we have to move along as if we need
for it.
Yeah.
That's right. You got to compete for it. Whatever you get from here is a bonus, but you can no longer rely on him.
Right. We need another real guy. We got to assume that he's not coming back. We have to act as an organization as if he was not coming back. And whatever happens, he's a bonus. If he comes back and he's the guy, that's great. Then we have a great problem. We have 3 tackles that should deserve to start if we already found someone. And that's okay with me.
And that's the same way I'm looking at Denzel Mims, albeit for different reasons. I know it's not injury related, but I look at the same way. Whatever we get from him is a bonus this year. But I want
to make a couple announcements before we move on.
Let's do it.
Okay. Last on Sunday, you saw me burn up and eat hot sauce. People were saying, am I going to do it again? I pretty much think that every show, the opportunity to make me suffer will be available. So, and I'm always going to try to mix up the sauces and do different things. So I want to say that if we do earn $50 in super chats tonight, I will take a shot of this Twisted Sister habanero sauce.
Okay.
It's
cheesy habanero sauce?
It's delicious.
Cheesy?
It's a cherry habanero sauce.
Okay, it says cherry. I thought it said cheesy really quick with the dark on dark.
Pretty darn hot. It's made with cherries and habanero peppers. So it's a lot of pepper mash. I've had it. Sometimes I get some seeds and it really burns the hell out of me. It tastes delicious. That's nice. I really typically eat it on food. It's really hard to eat straight, but it's not crazy hot, which I think for average people it is, but I've been doing this a while. This is the $50 sauce. If we were to hit total $50 in super chats tonight at any point, if we were to somehow go to 100, I don't expect that to happen, but if we were,
I was going to say, I wonder if they have
I'm bringing out something with the Reaper.
Oh,
it is the Grim Peacher.
You know, they said don't fear the Reaper, but I would fear that bottle right there. I got to say.
This one is no joke. It has Reaper in it. It's not pure meat Reaper mash like some of the other sauces I have that'll come out some other day. But it does have a little bit of peach in it. That's why it's called the Grim Peacher. It has a little bit of peach in it to sweeten it up, a little bit of apple cider, but it also has Carolina Reaper pepper super mash in it. So this one's going to turn me red and burn my mouth off. Part of me is hoping that I don't hit 100, that they fall short at like 98 and I don't have to eat it.
Yeah, because where I live in Virginia, believe me, you go to the farmers markets, you can buy baskets of Carolina Reapers. That's how sick some of our local farmers are.
Yeah. So if anybody's asking or wondering and you want to see the hot sauce thing happen, start with the super chats and you'll see it happen. I'm going to really quickly bring in Talking with Tigo. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
Hi.
Long time no see, Adam.
Yeah, Tigo, what are we going to do? We get a certain number of super chat money tonight. We got to come up with something.
Absolutely nothing. I'm going to sit here and watch him turn red. I contributed last time. I dropped a 20 on it. I did my part of turning the egghead red. I'm tapped. I have a newborn baby and no job, so I'm done.
That is fair. So are Reapers, Daniel Murphy's asking if Reapers are hotter than ghost peppers. And Daniel, they are. Yes, they definitely. I've eaten a straight ghost pepper myself one time in my life. And notice that I said one time in my life because I will never do anything that stupid again in my life.
You guys are crazy, man. I don't do spice like that. Like Chipotle chicken is as spicy as I'll go. Like to where I'll enjoy it spicy. You know what I mean? Like that's it for me.
So I'm gonna have the Ring of Fire.
Are Reapers still the hottest pepper in the world, though? I feel like there's always like some new scorpion thing that just passed it. Is it still Reaper that are the hottest? I can find out, but I was wondering if you know.
It is. The Carolina Reaper is, as of right now, still holds the Guinness Book of World Records for being the hottest
Yeah,
Jeremy,
so
next time I see you, should I bring you a basket of Carolina Reapers, locally grown?
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Okay.
That'll be like the ultimate thing. Like if I hit $1,000, I'll eat a Reaper pepper.
Dude, there's enough money. Wow. Whole? Man alive. Yeah.
Yeah,
Put it
so-
this way. That would be the end of the show. I would just be doing the play-by-play. That's what it would come to.
So thank you, Chris Bradigan, and welcome to the show.
That's funny. So I just looked into it just on the pepper thing. So the Reaper pepper was ranked as the world's hottest pepper in 2013.
Right.
Mhm.
They retested apparently in 2018, and the Reaper pepper that they used for that test was apparently even hotter than the 2013 Reaper pepper. So with age, the Reaper is getting hotter and hotter.
Oof. Wow. With age, some things do get hotter. Okay, that's good to know. Zach Wilson apparently agrees. Anyway.
Thank you, Dan Faust, for the super chat, and thanks for the contribution. We're off and running. I got $43 left to have that Twisted Sister habanero sauce.
That's a start.
We're much further away from the. I might be safe from having to have the Reaper tonight, but we got a lot of time left in the show.
The worst is if we get to 99, I'll throw in the last dollar. How about that?
Yeah, if we're $2 away, I'll throw $2 in.
There we go.
So
we got $3 in confirmed.
So okay. So welcome, Tigo. What do you think? We've been talking about offensive tackles. What's your take on all this?
I think a lot of people went into ultra panic mode because and I understand why. Right. And I think that people really didn't understand where our offensive production came from last year. Thank you, Grandizer. I love that man. I think that we see a lot of I'm gonna pause so you can talk about it.
I think we hit show at the same time. There, it might fade out. Yeah, you go ahead, put it back up. Oh. We both hit show at the same time.
Iowan, I love it.
Wow.
Oh my God!
I am on board with Iowan's take here.
Bring the Pain and Eric Fisher. That's who I would prefer, but I'm not super sold on him either whatsoever. I just want to see hot sauce consumed. I can't believe it's worth $20 to put me in this situation. It's amazing to me. I was like, I'll do it. Like, people want me to eat hot sauces. I'll put in some limits and make it possible, but I didn't expect it to happen. And then when it happened Sunday, I said, okay, I'll keep doing it forever, but how long are people going to be willing to pay to see me suffer? I don't know.
How long are you willing to suffer? People always pay to watch people suffer.
So, thank you very much, Iwan. I appreciate the big super chat. Even though if it has very, very evil intentions, we're at 27. So we're not, it looks like we're well on the way to do the $50 hot sauce, which is not going to disappoint. If we only make it to the $50 one, I'll get to be okay at work tomorrow. I won't, but it's not that I'm not going to suffer and you're not going to get to see me in pain, because I promise you, I'm never going to do like a wimpy sauce. $50 is still worth enough for you guys, for you guys to see me in pain. I want to thank Jets Mess for becoming a snacker. Thank you. That is just awesome of you. Another snacker. Remember, that gets you shout outs. It prioritizes your chats. It does lots of things. So, plus all the benefits that come with it. You'll notice that the new emoticons include pizza. So enjoy that one and whichever ones you want to put out there. And I'm sorry, Tigo, go back to it. You were talking about your take on tackles and the fact that we all panicked way too soon.
That's it. I think everybody panicked way too quickly, and we didn't need to. I think the same argument that everybody used when I was not the biggest fan of Fant, which I've kind of turned the corner on that take a little bit. And the reasoning why I think I'll bring it back up, why I wasn't the biggest idea of signing Fant, was because of the fact that he became a late bloomer, right? He only had 1 year of production at age 30, and that frightened me. But using that same kind of, okay, I'm gonna put a kind of on here, kind of logic, why can't we have that same kind of belief for a player like Chuma Edoga, who's still really young? And yes, he hasn't given us good seasons, but what's stopping him from turning it around now? I'll talk about it really briefly, but I've always believed in Max Mitchell. I always thought that he was going to be a viable option on this offense. I agree that he needs to put on some weight. He's a little bit light for the position, but ultimately I'm not that concerned because there are options out there. And I don't think that we're looking for someone to slot in at right tackle as a starter. I think that's a position that we have fulfilled in-house. Personally, I think what we're looking for is a Connor McDermott replacement. That's where I look at it and I go, I'm not necessarily too concerned about not having signed Dwayne Brown or not having gone out and brought in like my 3 guys that I would like to go after were Dwayne Brown, Eric Fisher, Eric Fisher, and Brian Bulaga. Brian Bulaga being my favorite just because he's a natural right tackle. I'm concerned about the injuries, but ultimately he's becoming to be a backup, and that's what I want him to do. I don't want him to win that starting job. So for me, that's really it. I think we have the solution in house. I think Max and Chuma are both viable options. I think you got to start the year with Chuma Edoga, but once Max puts on 10 or 15 pounds, he is a gamer. He plays the right tackle position aggressively. He plays it relatively sound. He's got good hands. He's got relatively good feet. Like, he's not this world beater, right? Like, don't expect to be getting a all-pro right tackle. That's not what he is. But what he is like what Connor McGovern is at center, right? Like, no, if you're complaining about Connor McGovern at center, is because there's nothing else to complain about. Connor McGovern is almost never the reason Zach Wilson is getting sacked, really, but he's also not doing anything like blowing up a defensive tackle and ripping a hole open. He's just there and he does his job relatively well. And that's what I look at Max Mitchell being for the next year or two before I think he really blows up on the scene. So I believe in Max, but if I want to go get somebody, I either want to go trade for a young guy that we can develop over a long time. Tevin Jenkins comes to mind. Stone Forsythe, maybe in Seattle. Those are the kinds of guys that I look at as like developmental, bring in backups, or we just sign in a veteran and say, here's $3 to $5 million to sit on the bench for when Fant goes down. Right? He's a big boy with a knee injury. The assumption that we're going to get 17 games out of him is really, really naive, in my opinion. He's going to miss some time. And so we got to prepare for that.
So for me, you mentioned Brian Bulaga. You said that Bulaga was your favorite, and I am very interested in the idea. He is unsigned for one reason: he isn't staying on the field.
Yeah.
The last season where he stayed healthy was 2019, and when he did, he was one of the best right tackles in the NFL. And now it's 2022. So if you want to give them another one of those very incentive-laden contracts, bring it. Then that is something I can be open-minded to. But again, you can't count on it. You can only count on so much production. That's the thing with a lot of these guys. I mean, Eric Fisher, I feel like Eric Fisher is like an older version of Becton in that at this point he's a much better run blocker than he is pass blocker in that respect. So, and he hasn't lined up at right tackle since 2015. So he's about as unfamiliar with it almost as Dwayne Brown is. It's been a long, long, long time. But again, I don't feel like I have the right to be too picky at this point. I mean, it's almost like when I think it was McCagnon got Ryan Clady after DeBrickashaw Ferguson left rather abruptly and wasn't handled very well. And that didn't go as well as we would have wanted. But at this point, it's with some credible free agents out there. I don't really have a lot of interest in trading an asset, especially a draft pick, to get an offensive lineman. Now, if there is a player-for-player trade to be had, like with defensive line for offensive line, I'm open to it. Shoot, we're actually joking on Monday. Let's move Michael Clemens to offensive line. Let's move him to right tackle and
he's so long. He might just be able to that where the guy's holding the little kid. Like, he might just be able to do that to defensive ends.
Yeah, I heard, by the way, Michael Clemens and Grant Hermans got into a fight today in practice. The services for Grant Hermans, his pallbearers, will be Ross Pierschbacher and guys like that. So Grant Hermans, RIP after that.
I love it. Thank you, Chris Bradigan, for becoming a snacker. We appreciate you being a snacker. You are the man, and welcome. I'd also like to welcome Dark Soldier for being a snacker. Hey
Look at
guys,
this.
yeah, we're getting members. People are joining. Remember, we're only, let's see, we got $27 in super chat, so we're only $23 away from me starting with the Twisted Sister habanero sauce. So that is still up there. You know what? We got, how many new members did we just get? 2?
2.
Let's count every new member as 5, right? So let's add 10 to that 27 and say that we're at 37. We only need 13 more to get to 50. So every time I get a new member, we'll count it as $5 worth of super chat towards me eating hot sauce, because I love getting new members. I appreciate it. I want to build a big, giant group of snackers. So keep it coming, keep joining, and you're gonna have me eating hot sauce soon. So, kind of reported that the Jets were practicing running the cart out to the field to get Zach. Oh my God,
Charles.
Not a very optimistic
I
take.
know. Yeah, we get it, but oh boy.
What's
And
up,
Chris-
Jets Fan United?
Jets Fan United in the house.
JFU, awesome.
Love it, love it.
Now, I want to address something that Adam, you were talking about before I got on.
Mhm.
And that was that you brought up the idea of giving maybe one of these free agent guys a 2-year deal, or you're concerned about the tackle room moving into next year because obviously we don't have Fant extended and things like that. Let me ask you this question. It's a 2-part question. So I'm going to ask the first question and it'll lead up to the second question. When it comes to your preference for the handling of George Fant, right?
Okay.
Are you wanting to straight up extend him, or are you looking more at a maybe franchise tagging him instead of giving him the long-term extension? Which would you prefer? And remember that there is a follow-up here.
Okay. My initial thought, without going through what the numbers were, but do we know offhand what the offensive tackle? Because left tackle, right tackle, you have the same franchise cap number. In fact, it might be the same for for most offensive linemen. What was it? 50, was it like 16, 17 million last year? Somewhere in that area? I got to think it was between 50 and 80. I am very hesitant to give George Fant a franchise tag yet because he had one really good year at left tackle. I am not feeling that. I prefer the cost certainty and I prefer the longer period of time. So
it's the expected franchise tag, just to answer your question, for next year for an offensive lineman, because it's the same for all offensive linemen, is 17.8. So it's $17,811,000.
I'm not feeling that. I would go. I don't want to give an exact dollar figure, but I would go about 3 years, because he has not played as much football as other people. So while he may be like 30 years old or whatever he is, he's like a younger 30, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he doesn't have the miles.
So, right, and that matters. Whether it's like innings on a pitcher's arm. It's the same thing with these games on an offensive lineman as well. Plus, you can play later, typically as an offensive lineman into your career, as opposed to if you're a running back or a cornerback. So, yeah. So to answer the first part of your question, I'm leaning towards extension over franchise.
Okay. So if you do extend him, what do you look at as I guess, what's the solution for right tackle then in your mind? If we next year, right? Do we have it in house? Do you think Max Mitchell is that guy and we drafted him in the 4th round? Or are you still wanting to go out and try and get somebody or do something like that? Because in my mind, in my brain space of trying to figure this out, the reason I asked the question this way is I was listening to Jets Talk 24/7. Ryan was talking about the fact that Orlando Brown's hitting the market next year because there's no way they're going to tag him twice, right? Because then they're going to be paying him in like the 20s of millions of dollars. So they're not going to tag him a second time. And so like the question comes back to, we're still not paying Zach. We're going to be able to lose quite like some big contracts in the sense of like we can restructure or cut Carl Lawson if he doesn't live up to the hype. We're going to be able to restructure or cut CJ Mosley, so there's money to be had. So I guess the question goes, next year's tackle situation? Is the solution in-house, or are you already looking at next year's right and left tackle as we need to find a left and a right tackle because we don't have those answers right now? And by don't have those answers, I mean like George Fant isn't on the team next year as of right now. So we would have to give him a contract to do that, because I like to lean more towards the screw it. I would let Fant walk and I would test the market. I would go and try to see, because there are better tackles out there. And I would see like, hey, maybe there's a thing. And if not, I like the draft class, the draft class coming up for tackles. The kid coming out of Northwestern, is it Northwestern? Yeah, the kid coming out of Northwestern, he's an interesting dude. The kid out of Georgia, he's older, but he's an interesting guy. And I think that you do that with Max Mitchell. That's an offensive line I'm comfortable with. Or even a Orlando Brown with a Max Mitchell. That's kind of what I'm thinking in my own head. What do you think of that kind of looking to next year as a GM?
Look, I don't believe we should just be so easy to let Fant go. We invested time in this guy. We took a shot at this guy. It took him time to develop. He learned the system and he played so well in it. I don't see letting him walk. Now, if you get this other guy from Kansas City, is that right? He's on Kansas City, right?
Yes.
I understand. Like if it's a couple million more or whatever Fant was going to cost, if you knew we can get this guy, I get it. Obviously, you take that guy, you lock him in forever for the rest of his career. But not that I'd mind throwing Fant onto the other side, but you probably can't afford, if you can't afford both, if you're going to go that kind of like the high money route, fine. But if you're not guaranteed to get that guy, I am perfectly fine with Fant. And the way he played last year, and the beautiful thing is that we can do it game 6 of the season, game 5, game 6, after we see him for the first 5 games and feel it out. And if he's the same guy he was last year, you lock that boy up. You just get him on. Lock him up. Man, if he plays as long as Dwayne Brown played, I mean, think about it. Even if he didn't, if he goes to 34, that's still, 5-6 years left? I mean, that this guy could be playing at a high level. So I have nothing against him.
But that's my caveat there, right? Is that high level, because he's not playing at a high level. He's playing, in my opinion, at a just above replacement level. He's not a liability, but he's not a world beater. He's, in my opinion, what a right tackle should be. He should be playing right tackle at the level that he's playing at. And that's where I come up with that situation. Is there a guy in this draft that maybe can be what we know Mekhi Becton could have been, right? You can't bank on Becton anymore. It's 2 back-to-back seasons lost. You got to find something else. And that's why I look at maybe an Orlando Brown or even drafting somebody as a better situation, just because like they have a much higher ceiling. Orlando Brown is one of the best left tackles in the league, where like George Fant is just kind of average.
Let me ask this question. Do we think that Max Mitchell can only play right tackle long term?
Yes.
No way he plays left tackle.
Not in my opinion.
The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm looking at the top 25 projected free agents next year. There's only 2 tackles on the list, Orlando Brown and Jack Conklin. And Conklin is really a right tackle, really. So Conklin would definitely interest me if I had the feeling we could move Max Mitchell over to left tackle. Or if one of the 2 of them could play left tackle, I would be very interested in that idea. At this point, I'm not sure. I think Max Mitchell's development is going to be one of the biggest storylines of this season. I think it is as pivotal. His development is as pivotal as, I don't want to say any Jets rookie, but I'm going to be as focused on him as I am on, say, Breece Hall, Jeremy Ruckert. You know why? Because the Jets have other very good, capable players at those positions. They need, at this point, Max Mitchell to develop. That pick has to hit. We've had enough offensive linemen who have gotten hurt over the last couple of years or have simply not worked out. You know, I still believe Cameron Clark would have been a credible offensive lineman if he didn't get hurt.
I agree, man. That was such that one hurt me when he went down, like his like career over.
Me too. Yeah, it upset me because I really thought that was going to be a steal, and now we'll never know. So yeah, so to me, I don't think there's any way Kansas City is going to franchise him. Do we actually think Brown will hit the market?
Yeah.
Well,
here's the thing: if they've already franchised him once, what is they're either going to have to franchise him a second time or throw the bag at him. But we have to remember that the Mahomes contract is only getting bigger. You get the Mahomes contract, the Kelsey contract. Like, their cap situation isn't in a position where they can just throw $18 million at a left tackle. $20 million at a left tackle.
Yeah, and like right tackles, there's only 6 of them making over $10 million a year. That's it. I mean, right tackles are not exactly paid very high. There's only so many Ryan Ramczyks and Jack Conklins out there. It's typically a pretty low paid position. So
Justin Jets was at the green and white scrimmage. So
he's all over this. Yeah,
he was able to see. He was watching this. He's saying you can even see if you watch the clip. So how do you respond to something like this? I mean, I understand we're less than that this green and white game was played officially under 2 weeks into camp, and we're talking about a rookie. So there's still a month to go from that day at least, right? So I mean, that's a lot of time. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't think Justin's lying. He has no reason to lie. He's a diehard Jets fan. He probably wanted Mitchell to be really good. So how do you respond to this?
I think you got to take into consideration that it was just the green and white scrimmage, and it was the first time in all camp that he was facing the ones. It's a different speed when the guys that are rushing you are like Bradley Anai on a regular basis versus now you've got to go up, against Carl Lawson. There's a ramp up speed there. And my thing also goes like playing as a rookie, just take it into consideration, right? Like as a rookie, you're going into your first ever green and white game in MetLife with that many fans screaming and cheering and doing. It's not that at training camp, there's a couple hundred, maybe a few thousand fans, right? But when you fill up that bottom level of MetLife with Jets fans screaming, how much of that is just nerves? And then today, Max was on fire. So I tend to, and again, I'm a Max Mitchell truther. So take everything I say about Max Mitchell with a grain of salt. But I am so totally a Max Mitchell truther. And I tend to think that today's reps with the ones bears more fruit than the green and white game, which is his first under the big lights and with Jets fans at MetLife. It's something different. It's a different beast. And you just didn't handle it well. Some players don't. And I think that's just me personally.
Remember that some of our other offensive linemen got smoked on some plays too. We have some very talented defensive linemen.
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
Offensive line, including the interior offensive line. This wasn't just a tackle issue. I feel like more than anything, it's been a lot of up the middle pressure. Also, I haven't really heard too many people talking about, the beat writers talking about fans, and that's usually a good thing because if they're talking about offensive linemen during these scrimmages, it usually means they're giving up pressures.
So here's the thing, right? They're not allowed to report those things,
right? According
to what's coming out of Jets practice, but what they are allowed to report are sack numbers, and as of yesterday, so not including today's practice, because I don't know the sack numbers of today's practice or whatever, but the sack numbers going into today were Carl Lawson, and he's almost exclusively rushing on George Fant. You have to remember this, has 6 sacks this camp, since pads went on. The other player that has 5 sacks is Quinnen Williams. And forget the tackle situation, which we know is suspect at best. I think everybody who's a Jets fan can agree that our middle 3, Connor McGovern, Elijah Vera Tucker, and Laken Tomlinson, might be our best unit on the team. Those 3 together might be the best interior offensive line we've had in a long time. And maybe because we got a Pro Bowler, a future Pro Bowler, and according to PFF, the 9th braided center in the NFL. And Quinnen Williams has 5 sacks since pads have come on. 5. They're getting beat. And you got to take into consideration, we have dogs on the defensive line. Dogs. So, I don't know. You got to, it's that, Jeremy, I think you summed it up perfectly a few days ago in one of your videos where you were talking about just like with everything like, hey, Zach Wilson got intercepted or whatever. It's like, no. Zach Wilson didn't get intercepted. Insert cornerback here made a great play, right? You're always got to look at, like, just because one unit does well doesn't mean the other unit is bad. We have two good units going up against each other. That's why Zach threw the ball at Sauce today after he ran that touchdown in, right? Sauce is a good corner.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hearing so many good things about the defensive line, about the pressure they're creating, and the depth in the secondary. I'm hearing so much about that. So as concerned as we've been about linebacker, you know what? If the front end and the back end of your defense are that good, you know, your linebackers don't need to be all completely comprised of all pros. Just as long as they can make the intelligent plays, make the plays they have to make, that might be good enough. That really might be good enough because, yeah, the depth of the secondary, I feel like, isn't getting really spoken about enough. But, man, I'm really excited to see what they're going to be. And I'll tell you another player I'm going to be watching this preseason is Jason Pinnock. I think that Joyner-Pinnock thing is neck and neck. I am very interested to see who emerges in that safety battle.
I'm so glad you brought it up because I think Pinnock is going to win.
Hey, if he does, I just hope somebody wins and somebody is less terrible than the other. That's what.
Man,
but I'm pretty confident
that we're
guys.
probably like wanting to play Joyner and all that, but I'm just looking at Pinnock, man, and I'm like, and the way that he's playing, and the guy he's playing well, man. And so
is Will Parks. Will Parks is playing well too.
He won't make the team. I don't think he makes the roster.
I mean, if they're only going to go with 4 safeties.
Ashton Davis is the 4th safety.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Why? Ashton Davis has been played out of position this whole time. We got to stop playing him as a box safety.
I was going to say I didn't know he had a position. I must have missed something.
Like he's raw athleticism, and he takes horrible, and I mean horrible
angles. That's why he doesn't
coming
play special
downhill.
Teams. That's why I play special teams.
But like, stop asking him to come downhill. That's the thing. This is it.
Another 4. Oh, we got another little bit of cash here, contributing to the hot sauce fund. Oh. Boogie Down Bronx, we thank you very much.
Wow. I don't know if Boogie Bronx, I didn't even know he was here or knew about it, but Boogie Down Bronx, you just contributed, $5. Thank you so much. I'll put it up in a second. I'm trying to write a poll. I'll do it right after that. You just brought the total amount of Super Chat to 42. We are $8 away from me having to eat a very, very hot habanero sauce. And then don't mind the other hot sauce I might have to eat. You guys are fine stopping at $50.
And you actually have access now that you have crossed a certain threshold. You have access to create a poll now. Have we graduated to poll territory?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Oh my God! Oh, this is a big moment, folks. Would this be the first poll in the history of Jets Chaos during a live show?
Yes, and it'll all be thanks to Charles.
Oh, yeah. We'll go back and
we'll look for an option.
We'll go back and we'll timestamp this for sure. Tigo, who am I forgetting? Joyner, Pinnock, Davis, and who else? I'm sorry.
Whitehead.
Whitehead, of course. Yeah.
It's hard to remember like the Whitehead in like from camp because of his style of play. Like, because we haven't heard anything from Whitehead, right? Good or bad. And it's because like he's not allowed to do the thing that we want him to do, which is blow players up. Like we want him coming downhill and dropping a shoulder into the middle of someone's chest. And he's just not allowed to do that at camp, right? So it's just,
The poll should be up. I don't know. You tell me if the poll goes up. I sent it.
Not yet. No, I'm watching the chat, the phone, the website, but I'm watching.
Okay. Yeah, it's up.
It's up. Okay.
That's what she said.
So Boogie Down Bronx. He didn't even do it for the hot sauce. So we should really focus and read this chat. Thank you so much for the super chat, Boogie Down Bronx. By the way, put it in the chat, Boogie Down. Are you going to the Jets home opener? I don't know. I'm not sure if you're going to be there. If you're going to be there, let us know, and let us know what you're doing at the tailgate party. Are we going to get to meet you? We're going to be at the Gotham tailgate party, me, Green Bean, and all the other YouTube guys. And if you are going to be at the game and don't know about it and want to go to the tailgate party, go to the Gotham. Is it Gotham City, Adam? I think it's Gotham City, right?
The Gotham City crew.
Yeah, go to their website and you could buy a ticket and go to the. You can hang out with all of us. I respectfully disagree with Tigo, and ain't no way you putting a rookie guard to start. No way that's taking two
Rookie
steps
guard?
back. We have to sign someone.
I think he
he's
meant
saying-
tackle. I think he's considering Max
He has
Mitchell
to
a
be
guard.
tackle.
When he's a tackle.
Right, he's talking about
Yeah.
tackle. So he's saying there's no way you're going to let Max Mitchell start because you're not going to put it in the hands of the rookie.
Now let me ask this boogie down real
I'll
quick.
just simply say I'm not comfortable with it right now either, but he's allowed to compete for the job. But go ahead, Tigo.
Let me ask this real quick. What's the hang up with Max? Because we put a rookie guard last year out on the field in Elijah Vera Tucker. The year before, we put a rookie tackle out on the field, arguably at the most important position on the offensive line at left tackle. So is it specifically like you're just not a fan of Max at right guard? And if so, what's the reason? I'm just curious. You're allowed to have your opinion. And I understand why people are hesitant at putting Max out there. Like I said, I am a Max Mitchell truther. I've been pounding and saying that we should draft this kid in the 4th or the 5th round since before the draft. So I understand that I have a really, really hot take when it comes to Max, but I'm just curious, like, what's the hesitation on Max Mitchell? If it's his weight, I'm on board. He needs to gain 15, 20 pounds.
Yeah, Jets Fan United says Max Mitchell is a run blocker with sloppy kick slide.
Yeah.
Kick slide. I didn't know that was a criteria for evaluating an offensive lineman, but hey, cool.
Oh, it's absolutely important.
I didn't heard of kick slide.
It's that back kick that the offensive
Okay.
lineman does on the offensive snap.
I've
It's like their
watched
most
football
important thing on
too.
pass protection.
Okay.
Eminon brings us to
I never heard the
$44.
phrase. Weird.
$44. We're $6 away. Thank you
44.
very much, Eminon. Eminon is basically saying, I want to see Chaos eat some hot sauce, and we are only $6 away from that being a reality. I'm looking at the bottle right now. Oh boy, what did I get myself into? But hey, man, that's the name of the game. By the way, this is a good time to announce. Good time to announce while people are still here before it gets too late. On Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Everybody knows, or most of you know, I have another channel with my brothers. My brothers run it. It's called Cravat Attack. We rate hot sauces. We eat all the pucker butt sauces, the triple X, the pepper X, all the crazy sauces. We sample them. We rate them. And I, more than my brothers, suffer. We are at 4 o'clock Eastern going to, on this channel, it's going to be a crossover episode. We're going to do a live show where we're going to eat some crazy, crazy hot sauce. I think it's from Pucker Butt. It has Reaper in it. It's an absolutely insane sauce. And we're going to be doing that live here on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. It will be the last time we do that and do a crossover show. Obviously, we'll be promoting the Cravat Attack channel and getting you to subscribe. If you enjoy it and come and have a good time in the future, you'll get to enjoy it in the future, but you'll just have to come over to Cravat Attack to do it. So it is a crossover kickoff episode. We're re-kicking off the channel at 4 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. You'll get a reminder because you'll see me schedule the show early. So you'll see it when you're in YouTube. And mess. I'm sorry, I forgot to leave Lee Cravat as a potential choice in the poll.
Quick shout out to Carly for showing up. I asked her if she would stop by the chat. She's usually on with the with Jake's show, and she was nice enough to stop by. So I think her Instagram is Kicks by Carly. She does a whole lot of designing. She does some really cool stuff. So Carly, thanks very much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
So Dom C just rushed the process. We are now at $49.
Oh my
we are
goodness!
$1 shy.
With inflation, we're there, man.
I also want to say that we're $51 away from me having to eat this one, which has the Carolina Reaper. I don't know why I'm showing it. I shouldn't be reminding you of it. It's not a good idea. You know, the hell with you.
Adam, I beat you to it.
Tigo, screw you.
I was looking at the chat, making sure everybody was feeling welcome, and we crossed the line. Tigo finished it off. You beat me too. Okay, now I see what you did. Okay.
We are at $50, which means it's time for me to eat.
We need
hot
some
sauce.
music. We need some background music. We need something. We gotta set a little.
Let's
Oh, I've
do
got
it.
background. I've got the lo-fi chill music
Let's-
going on in the background. I
let's
have them
slow
going all the
I
time.
got some music here.
I feel like I need I feel like I need a shot now.
Let's see what music we'll do. Let's see.
J. Cole showed up just in time.
And I understand the concern, guys, just so it doesn't seem like I'm ignoring all of you and what you're talking about when it comes to Max Mitchell. I understand the concerns about his weight and the fact that the kid's young and all that stuff. I just believe in him. So I know it's not like a reasonable take, but I believe in the kid. And I like him a lot.
Well, chat, you have come through for us tonight. We have hit $50. A deal is a deal. He takes that first whip, and oh, you can tell it's already going to his mind. What has Jeremy Cravat got himself into? Oh, we are bringing the chaos here on Wacky Wednesday.
Oh,
that
here
first
we go.
shot's coming.
Here we go.
All right, let's see. We got to watch. Have you poured it? Oh, he's got the spoon ready to go. On 3. 1, 2, 3. He's taking the swallow.
First thing is good. He's good.
He's got the
And now I
flavor
start to
going
get the punch.
on. Here it comes.
I'm gonna go get a Gatorade just so that I can
I'm gonna
step
I'm
away.
gonna go get some. I'm gonna get some ice cream, some nice cold ice cream.
I'm gonna step away, and by the time I come back, he's gonna be so red.
Yeah, we need to do like a before
Oh.
and after on the redness here. Where are you feeling it right now, Jeremy?
Sneaking up.
Where you get the sensation?
I'm feeling it on a lip. A glob of it hit my lip, and a seed got stuck under between my teeth and my gum. So I'm feeling it on the top a lot, and it's starting to hit the bottom of my throat.
Oh,
that was
man, straight
quick.
to the bottom.
I will
Already
say-
red.
I will say that it tasted delicious. Ooh, but it's hot. Okay, now I think the idea is that I should go on with the show. Otherwise,
Yes,
if I don't
yeah.
go on,
let's-
the idea is that I have to try to go on with the show. I think.
I think that's a good
Otherwise,
idea. Yeah, just ask random questions. Jeremy, what did you happen to see the video today of Carl Lawson being mic'd up and Michael Clemens went to shake his hand and Lawson just completely dissed him, just turned away, and Michael Clemens was just there holding his other hand. I mean,
Whoa.
is Carl Lawson going to survive such a diss for Mr. Clemens?
Might get cut.
I licked my lip. Was it on purpose?
Don't let facts get in the way of a good story. Go ahead.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Why are you asking good questions now? Come on.
Because I want to make him think while he's in pain.
I think
No,
that,
no, not Jeremy.
I think that that Michael Clemens is a team player and he understands he's a rookie, and those kind of disses are going to happen. But
If y'all have questions for Jeremy, please post them in the chat.
I think
Now's the time.
this is when I'm
Math
the most
questions.
honest. Oh, boy.
Rivka from Jets X Factor. Riv, we have two guys. This is setting a record. We have 2 women in the chat at one time. This is fantastic.
Bunch of geeks like us never experienced anything like that before.
Rivka, thank you very much for watching the videos. I definitely appreciate it.
I'm
Very,
enjoying
very
your
much.
videos. Oh, she's been enjoying your videos. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I have been too.
Me too. Me 3.
I'm gonna
I'm
take
trying.
for anything that happens, like when the success of Adam.
J.
I'm
Cole,
gonna take.
shut up. Sorry to interrupt, but J. Cole, no.
I'm gonna take like 1% of the credit for any success that Adam gets because
Yes, he deserves to.
because the first time I was ever invited on anything and Adam was on there, I was like, Adam, you need to start your own channel because I like your takes and you need to do it. So I'm taking. You know what? I earned it 2%.
You did, and you did have. Oh, dude, you sound like a storm howling outside the window right there, like the beginning of a tornado on a cold Kansas prairie night.
I'm trying really hard to not. I'm trying really hard not to drink. I have some almond milk here. I'm trying really hard not to drink it because if another $50 comes in and I have to drink the Reaper sauce, I'm gonna need all the almond milk I can get. So I'm glad that we didn't like last time we jumped right from like 48 to 68 or something, 70, and I knew I was gonna have to do the crazy hot sauce. I think being over an hour into the show, I have a chance to avoid eating Reaper sauce tonight. So, and I'm not complaining about it. I'm sorry, Adam. I know.
Answer
yeah,
Iowan's question. Go while the hot
I
sauce
know
is
you
still
want to
kicking
raise as
in.
much funds as possible for the channel, but
Jeremy, who do you think will win the kicking competition and why?
I think it's gonna go right now. It looks like it swung towards the veteran. I'm forgetting his name somehow. But I think Pinero missed a bunch of kicks, and I think the other guy kicked.
Greg Zerline.
Greg
Greg, the Legatron.
Legatron kicked a 55-yarder, so I'd say he has the advantage right now because I think that to beat out the veteran, you have to be significantly better than the veteran. So, Daniel Faust figured out how to become a new member. That's great. He was trying before and couldn't get it done. Okay. It's
Guys, just imagine how great the stream is going to be if he goes for the Reaper sauce.
Oh
Just-
my God, please.
And if you look closely enough at Jeremy's head, you can sort of see, like when he's talking, there's like an X-shaped vein popping out from his head. You know, we want to see that vein just.
I don't know what I want more. Like, I don't know. Like, $50 more in super chats would be really great. I'm not gonna lie, but you know what? Eating that Reaper sauce was really not gonna be a great thing. So I don't know what I'm rooting for.
Oh, Rivka's married. Well, you got a lucky husband. Very good.
Okay, there's a question. She has a
To
question.
answer to follow up on what you said, I agree. Greg the Leg should win this. I never wanted Eddie Pinheiro. I wanted to cut him the day we signed him.
Okay.
Nope.
This coming from a franchise, I might need some of that sauce after that. Okay. After the Kari Vedviks, the Sam Fickens, the Alex Kessmans, do I need to go to there? And you thought that Eddie Pinheiro needed to be cut the minute we signed him?
Eddie Pinheiro's launch angle at kicking is horrible. The fact that guy makes any field goals in the NFL surprises me. The guy barely kicks it over the offensive line. I'm sorry. We could get fans out of the stands that kick at a higher launch angle than Eddie Pinheiro.
And they're not going to be accurate. Welcome to Sabermetricians Nightly here in the NFL.
Neither is
We're
Eddie.
bringing down launch angle like it's the home run derby.
Like, that's the thing. Neither is Eddie. He's not
Kicking
accurate.
is not overly complicated. The ball goes through the upright or it doesn't. Does he have the
Yeah,
strongest leg? No, he doesn't.
He doesn't put it through the uprights enough. I'm on Greg the Leg. I was always on Greg the Leg.
But we've had a bunch of kickers who could kick the ball 60 to 65 yards, and they would do like what was the guy? Andrew Mevis did for Jacksonville. They'd hit a sideline reporter in the head. That actually happened during training camp, which was freaking hysterical, by the way. But that's the type of kicker we would have. You know what? Give me the accuracy. If he's we have an offense that is going to have better field position, is capable of driving the ball down the field. We're not going to be in a position where we need to make all these 50 to 60-yard field goals as much this year.
And Eddie is missing
accuracy
40
is going to
yarders.
matter more. So there you go. That's my thought.
And
Now,
Eddie's
I'm good with
missing
either
40
kicker.
yarders at camp. I'm
Yeah.
a Greg the Leg guy.
You know what? Either
I
kicker's
wasn't a
good.
fan
They'll
of his
prove
since
it
he was
during
on the
games.
Bears. That's the real problem. I saw him on the Bears, and he wasn't great.
What's up,
and
AC?
that's why I don't like Eddie.
He's okay. He wasn't Cody Parkey in the playoffs. God bless him,
NC
but
State, AC. Okay.
What will be the the only kick that he missed, Iwan? The only kick he missed was an extra point, and that was blocked. But he did not miss any kicks left, right, or short.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he missed. I'm just saying that it's not an accuracy has come into question this camp because he's missing more than Greg is. The real problem that I have with Eddie is the launch angle of his kicks. They're relatively low. And that's my concern. You get a really big, tall defensive tackle up there in the middle who can push on a guard really, really well. A hand can get in there. And that's my concern. That's where I don't like him, where Greg has a much, much higher launch angle and at camp has been more accurate.
At this point, each one's had like their different days. I think Pinheiro did have a better day than Zerline recently, but the games are what's going to prove it out. Also, if kickoff distance makes a difference, we'll have to see that. The thing with Zerline last year, I wanted to respond to this particular comment. He was good inside 50. The range where Zerline had problems was that 50 to 54 or 55 yard range. But even in the upper 50s, he made a field goal or two last year. So it was weird. It was that low 50s where he had trouble. So Zerline, to me, when he's been on, he's been fantastic. But when he's been off, it's been bad. So kickers year to year, they change. We've seen this. There's not too many Justin Tuckers out there. There's a couple really good ones, but generally speaking, you got about 10 really good kickers. But then, Dan Bailey, he had like 2 good years and was never heard from again. Nick Folk has been cut several times in his career. So you never really know. Sometimes you just got to strike lightning. But in the last little while, the Jets, no matter who the general manager has been, have not prioritized special teams. Going back to when we let go of Andre Roberts and Jason Myers.
Releasing Jason Myers.
Yeah, they
still
didn't
haunts
sign him. Yeah, they didn't keep him.
Not releasing him, but like letting him go. That's a release for him. That
yes, John,
still
we're
haunts
talking
my
kickers.
dreams. And yes, I love special teams, guys.
Okay,
Is that really
People
surprising?
are running away, so no more kickers.
Okay, let's kick that to the curb.
Yeah, nice pun. We're gonna see who wins that battle. Like I said, I'm gonna be a lot more concerned about kicker in the upcoming years, like next year and the year after that, because it's gonna matter. It might even matter this year if we make the playoffs. I know that's more of a long shot, but it's certainly, unless disaster strikes and we're not going to be a playoff team for the next few years, it's at some point kicker is going to be very important. And yes, we're going to have to talk about it. So some people are saying there's going to be no 911 call. Some people, Eminon, of course, one of my OGs, of course, didn't see me pour the sauce into the spoon. I'll tell you what, we have $50 more to go to get to that Reaper sauce. But what I'll do is for another 25, when we get to 75, I'll do another one of the Twisted Sister that I just did. And I'll show you me pour it into the spoon. Okay.
We get the 75. I'll do a shot of Crown Royal while you do the hot sauce.
Okay.
All right.
So we get the 75. Adam's going to do a shot of the Crown Royale, and I'm going to do another shot of the Twisted, and then we'll only be 25 away from me having to do the Reaper, which is not really necessary. So don't feel an obligation to get us up to that high. Perfect for me would be to.
Are you still feeling it? Sounds like you're getting an aftershock with your voice went out again.
It's just a little bit hard because I'm not drinking anything. So, but I'm definitely.
That's what she said.
But
I am not.
Nick would be so proud right now. Harlan Abraham, I like this. Pinheiro was our best field goal kicker last year. Well, that's like having the best complexion at a leper colony.
I did not want to be the guy to say it, but
I said I didn't mind saying that for you. But yes, he was good last year.
I hate Ryan.
Ryan
Leaf.
Ryan Leaf has a job.
No. He fills in for people because that's all he can do.
Unless it's in the NFL. Okay. Well, good for Ryan Leaf for turning his life around. That doesn't mean we have to listen to his opinion. So, oh boy.
He doesn't have a credit card yet.
You don't have a credit card yet, J. Cole? Okay. Why am I hope you also don't have a driver's license. Yeah. I didn't even need to see the video, but I'm sure it started like this.
Yeah.
Was that pretty much the first 5 seconds after that really cool?
Knowing him, it was probably like a.
All right, guys. There was no fist pump whenever there's the good news, because when there's good news, he always does the fist pump.
Guys,
he's got the fist pump, or he's got the head and the hands.
Yeah.
Those are his go-to moves.
Becton, guys. Well,
this injury checks all the boxes. and we love Jet Central. That's the beauty of it. But
okay. So
won't go there.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say something, but I has to add one last thing about kickers. Pinheiro has 86% field goals as the average kicker. It was 85%. He was literally above average. Yeah, he was.
He was good for us last year. That was surprising. That was a surprise to me because historically he has been average and like below average.
He's not doing any better than he did as a quarterback. He's a bum. He's a bum analyst. He's just a bitter baby, just like he was in the locker room when he played.
He has some super mega hot takes, man. I can't watch it. Like whenever he's on a show, like because I actually enjoy like watching some of these like talk show hosts, like even some of them who like I'm in the minority, and I know like I actually enjoy Colin Cowherd, not because I take him seriously, just but because it's hilarious. Like the
Okay.
backwards hat take. That's my favorite thing on the planet. Ooh, he wears a hat backwards. Not a good quarterback. That's what you're measuring the ability of a quarterback on? Whether he wears a hat backwards? You got to love it, man.
Oh, I could have sworn I had like a good trivia question of mine just on that note, but I gotta find I gotta find it on the website. So yeah, might be a moment there. Okay. Oh, I think what somebody asked a question about the sidearm throw from Zach to Elijah Moore. Hey, cool throw. It was a good throw, great catch. Showed that Zach can throw from a couple of different multiple angles. Fine, but I wasn't exactly falling out of my seat like apparently the Jet social media team was.
Well, what I really love more is that he didn't throw a bad pass today. The three incompletions were all drops.
Yep.
So he didn't throw a bad pass today, and he's putting together a lot of very good practices. That's what we should be focused on. And
now, how much
I knew
of the
he had
fact-
the I knew he had the sidearm ability, so that's why I'm not going crazy. Not that I'm not impressed by it, but I knew it was there. So I mean, that was one of the things I've been screaming about for a year and a half with this kid. Go ahead, Tigo.
Question though, because the other thing that was coming in this year, was I guess this year, but there was this conversation, right, that we would like to see the ball come out of Zach's hands much quicker and having play designs where it's just like one step and throw the ball. There was a report that came out. I don't remember from who, and I don't know if the source is trustworthy. So I'm trying to see if anybody else can corroborate this. But I did see that they were having him throw really quick, short passes today, that there wasn't really any 5, 7, or 9 step drops. Everything was either a 1 or a 3 step drop and then get the ball out really quickly, where they're essentially like run plays. That's how quickly the ball was coming out. Now, if that's true, what do you guys think of that? Because personally, I'm a big fan of like us practicing that more, because I want to have that in our arsenal. I want to have the ability of being able to throw the ball really quickly, as well as also being able to take a 9-step drop. So does the fact that he was getting the ball out more help you think this was a good day out of him, or diminish that value, I guess is the question I'm trying to ask.
I think the biggest thing for me is Wilson tended to be one of the slower quarterbacks in the league last year when it came to setting up the football to throw and actually releasing the football from his hand. It took him about 3 to 3.2 seconds. He got a little bit better at it as the year went on, but he's still one of the slower quarterbacks when it comes to getting rid of the ball. One of the things I really want to see from him is having a more fluid throwing motion, where he is able to get the ball out of his hand that much faster. Part of that comes from reading the defense, but another part of that comes from releasing the football faster. So now that you have some tight ends and you have running backs who can catch the ball out of the backfield, what a novel concept. Now you're in more of a position to have more plays like that, where you could maybe have some, hey, maybe we'll see some screens. I'd like to see a Ty Conklin screen. Let's check out a Breece Hall screen. Bring it. I'm here for it. So
give me a wide receiver screen in Elijah Moore's hands.
Before we get to Rivka's question, I just really want to. I ended the poll, so I want to read the results of it. I didn't realize it doesn't come up in mine. I have to read it out of YouTube. Sign Dwayne now was 41% wanted to sign Dwayne now. Let the backups compete was 29%. Trade for a better guy 17%. Sign Shell 11%.
Not a big fan of, not a lot of Shell fans in the chat tonight.
Which is surprising. Of the people that we've talked about, like in free agency, isn't he the youngest one?
I believe so. He's
right, because what, Bulaga's 31.
Oh,
Fisher's 34. Dwayne is 37.
Yeah, Bulaga's 33.
33.
Bobby Massey's 33. Darrell Williams is only 30. And of course, we didn't really mention Tevin Jenkins that much, but you'd have to trade for him. Number one, my issue with him is his back issues. I'm not even too worried about the coaches, but when you had back surgery after you were drafted and are still quote unquote ramping up to come back into the league, I'm concerned about that. Eric, I don't see Fisher. Shell. Doesn't list his age. I'd have to look at that. But Williams is one of the youngest, being that he's only 30. So
Yep. Another thing to kind of bring up is this the first year? This is the first year that I can remember where I'm actually excited for a preseason game, not because I necessarily want to watch the ones, but I'm kind of really excited to watch the twos and the threes. I want to see the ones, of course, right? Like I want to see Garrett Wilson and I want to see Zach Wilson and I want to see Sauce, but like that safety competition excites me. I want to see what we do at linebacker, like at all. That interests me. The edge class that we have is so deep that we're going to see good edges no matter what 1, 2, or 3 we're playing. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just kind of like this is the first time I've ever really been excited for a preseason game because I actually care about watching the ones and the twos.
Night, Iowa. Thanks for joining us, by the way.
Everyone, Iowa.
Night, Iowa.
Yeah,
So-
usually it's easy to dread. I'm sorry, I'll just keep it quick. It's very easy to dread the 2s and 3s because I feel like a lot of Jets preseason games, it's like, oh my God, the offensive line depth nearly got the quarterback killed. So often. Last year, though, I gotta say, it was kind of fun. I gotta say, I got a little bit of excitement out of that Kenny Yeboah game-winning touchdown. I was very, very happy about that.
That was great. So getting
really
to
was.
getting to Rivka's question, I wrote an article about Jet sacks totals today, and realized that I projected the defense lineman with Curry, the odd man out. What do you guys think? I think that Curry is definitely not a lock. I think he's in the middle of a battle, and
I think he's on the outs trying to find his way back in.
And the
Agreed.
hardest part for Curry, I think, is that if it's a tie, if he doesn't stand out above a younger player, you'd have to think they might go for the younger player because of the long-term value of that. So, like, if it came down to him and Huff, and Huff is as good as he is, there's no way they're cutting Huff over him, right?
I would hope not. Although I did find it interesting. If you want to go by that depth chart, Vinny Curry is with the 2s and Bryce Huff is with the 3s. Jermaine Johnson's with the 3s, but that's typical of a rookie thing. I'm not too worried about that.
But how much of that is just posturing for trade value and stuff? You know what I mean?
They're not trading Vinny
Jeremy Ruckert was on the 4th team or whatever for tight ends.
He was buried, but he was hurt. He's kind of coming back into it, so I could understand that. Bryce Huff is like a young veteran. He's got a few years on him, but he's still a kid. Vinny Curry, honestly, he's not going to be here more than 1 year. So if he's still here and we're cutting a Bryce Huff or a Michael Clemens for 1 year, to me, it's just very short-sighted. I don't want to hear about the leadership.
Whoa, Rivka, that might be a hotter take than even me.
What?
Oh boy,
the second to last comment that she just
she
put.
has interesting takes. I'll put it that way.
Wow. I would love to cut Shepard, Solomon Thomas, and Sheldon Rankins. Who's going to play up the middle then? You just cut everybody that's worth a damn up the middle.
Well, JFM you'd have Quinnen, JFM, Jonathan Marshall.
Then what?
And I'd like to buy a vowel. I like to buy a vowel, Pat.
There's no way they're cutting Solomon Thomas. They love Solomon Thomas.
There's no shot Solomon Thomas goes. None. Okay.
We don't stop the run with our defensive linemen.
All right, why are we keeping Jonathan Marshall then? Jonathan Marshall cannot stop the run.
Jonathan Marshall is useless in the run game.
Exactly. I'll keep Solomon Thomas over Jonathan Marshall when it comes to run defense.
Even then, that's still not solving the run, Rivka.
No.
If you put Clemens on the inside,
I'm fine with cutting Rankins. I've been wanting Rankins gone for 6 months. No problem.
The other two, you can cut either Rankins or Shepard. I don't care. Either one of them, take your pick, flip a coin. But Solomon Thomas plays. Well, yeah, because we're a one-stop shop when it comes to the defensive line. Get into the backfield. We don't stop the run with the defensive line.
Yeah, I'm going to go through I want to go through a couple of these.
I do want to point out that there's a poll right now. I put out a poll, and I said I'm going to add a twist onto my hot sauce thing.
Oh, I voted.
Okay,
yeah, me too.
Not right. So still going to do this if we hit $100. There's no question about it. The Reaper is sitting here. Hope I don't have to. But if we get a $20 super chat donation just to make it interesting, because that can bring us closer to the Reaper, so it's like a double victory. A $20 super chat, I automatically do a shot of the Twisted Sister habanero sauce, so you can see me turn red again.
Okay. Coaches love Shepard and Thomas. Rankins
Okay.
could be cut, and save the $5.5 million. Posters.
If we cut him, question: if we cut him and get that cap savings,
yep.
Let's say we don't sign a player for whatever reason, right? Like comes back, the MRI was wrong, Becton's back, whatever. We don't need to spend the money on the tackle. Let's just say we don't have to spend the money, right? That would leave us, if we cut Rankins, that'll save us 5.5. That'll put us right about 16 million-ish, give or take $1 million of cap space. Because we cut and got those cap savings, does that 5.5 million transfer over into next year? Is that carry-overable cap?
We have to talk about who's the guy that Green Bean had on, like the cap guy, Max or something was his name, Max Dean. He would probably know the answer to that, exactly when it starts carrying over. Yeah, off the top of my head, I'm not sure. So Enrico also said they plan to use Clemens inside, but at the same time, I remember, Rico, you also said in your article you didn't expect Clemens to see a lot of time on the field as a rookie. So it's, they might use him inside, but he's got to have some. But will he actually have playing time? It's a good question with Clemens if he actually will play. And they have a lot of redundant defensive linemen. I completely agree with you, who basically have the same skill set, and that's been the one thing about the defensive line, the roster construction, that has been confusing for me.
But that's because I think a lot of people are following a more traditional, hey, we have to have pass rushing defensive linemen, run stuffing defensive linemen, and on downs 1 and 2, you're going to play your big bodies up the middle, and then on third down, you're going to play your lean, fast, strong bodies up the middle, and that's how you're going to break it up, and then you're going to drop 7 guys into coverage in the backfield, or you're going to have linebackers like doing I think people fail to understand that when we build a defense with this scheme, the way Robert Saleh specifically builds his defense is that you don't use run-stopping defensive linemen at all. The whole point of the front four is to wreak havoc on the offensive line, is to carry offensive linemen into the backfield. And the responsibility of stopping the run falls on the back 7, your linebackers, your corners, and your safeties. Why do you think there was such a focus on bringing in defensive backs and linebackers who are good at stopping the run, who can read and react and come downhill really, really well? Quincy works in our system and in our scheme because he's so good coming downhill. So it's just like, that's kind of my point, is like, we got to get out of the mentality of we have to have these run stuffing defensive linemen, because we're never going to see that as long as Robert Saleh is our head coach. Saleh doesn't play that way. And now we can have a conversation of whether you like that or not and how you construct your rosters, but that's just not how he does it. And so that's the kind of the point there, is like, we're not going to see that out of our team, ever.
Send you a quick private message, Jeremy. Just an idea that I had.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, is J. Cole saying good night? Okay, I'm going to sleep. Good night.
Oh, he's gonna go. Well, J. Cole, have fun working on your dance moves, or
man,
I would getting that first credit card.
I would love to see you have a dance off with Green Bean at the game or in Coney Island. So we'll ask him if he's willing to do it, man.
I like to see him have a dance off with like Jet Situation. That's what I'd want to watch.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
I think I know who my money's on.
Yeah. So guys, going back to practices and what's going on in camp, it's funny how the whole Becton thing is overshadowing Zach. Zach has been having some amazing days in practice.
Oh, yeah.
What does this mean? Like, does it mean nothing? Should we not get overexcited? Do we have the right to start getting excited? I mean, when he has a bad day, it's like the end of the world. We have to hear everybody on Twitter say what a bust he is. We have to have all the media attack him. It's the end of the world. And then he has all these great days in a row. He's having some amazing days, and it's just crickets. So, like,
Doesn't fit the
who's going to
narrative.
stand up and say, hey, when are we going to give a little bit of applause to our boy Zach Wilson?
We have to win games before that can happen, right? Like,
Yeah.
we're the Jets until we're the same old Jets until we're no longer the same old Jets. And that's how it's going to be on the national media. You take the easy target, which for years has been the Jets, and you just go with it. Look how many people believe in New England in the national media. How many people are just giving Bill Belichick the benefit of the doubt with that offensive line, that line, that
No, you're
noodle of
right.
an
That
arm under
offensive
center,
arm. You're right.
that noodle throwing balls. You know what I mean? And they're still giving him the benefit of the doubt. Hunter Henry and then the other tight end that I forget their name, both
Chanu. Yeah, Chanu.
being hurt all the time. They still not having a wide receiver worth a damn. Like, and they still believe in him. And it's just because of the fact that he had Tom Brady for the longest time. So that's the until we like the real thing we need to go is go out and win like the first, like we need to win 2 out of the first 4 games. That's really
I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to go so far as say 3 of the first 5. Our 5th game is home against Miami. If we're going to have any kind of a season, we have to win that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's easy to focus on the first 4 games, you know, especially in the past when you had a 16-game season, you could break it down in the 4 quadrants. The way that it is right now, I need 3 and 2. I've heard some people, including some media members, Jets fans including, saying week 1, it's a must win against the Ravens. We have to beat Baltimore. We have to beat this team. That is the hardest matchup that we have, I think, in the first 5 to 6 weeks. Because, like, people have been saying in the chat tonight.
Oh, my God. Just when the poll says...
Oh, my thought.
now we got to see you pour it.
By the way, the results of the
I'll
poll
be
are
back.
very clear. $20 means a shot of the hot sauce. That also brings our total up to 71, which means I'm getting scary close to having to do the Reaper sauce. But for right now, that's still a good $29 away. There's hope that I won't have to do that. Thank you, AbLab Studios. I appreciate the $20. The super chat, it really helps the channel. I just invested more money for all 22. This is what I do with the super chat, guys. I invest it back into the channel. I'm going to have a full year of NFL Plus, the full features, which is supposedly going to get me all 22, which means on these shows in the future, I could show some we could pick a player and analyze the player and watch all the tape of that player.
Well, you're not getting demonetized for that?
Shut up now, and I'm going to...
I got the crown right here.
Oh, that's right. You're going to do the Crown Royale.
I got a crown shot, so we're going to pour it.
Oh, there we go. There we go. You wanted to see it, Eminon. Oh, you wanted to see it. Go on to this.
Nice and high, right?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd be happy to give the toast if we're good.
You give me 1 second. Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay,
here we go.
Damn.
To the 2022 season. Jets.
Jets.
I have a headache for you guys.
That's good.
Oh, boy.
And I don't have to be at work tomorrow until 3 p.m. I got all night.
Oh, a lot of seeds this time. Oh,
You got a CD bite, everybody.
Oh,
Look who showed up just in time. Aaron Butler himself. Oh boy. No, we haven't gotten anybody just yet to replace Mekhi Becton.
Don't think we do for a while.
No, not this. I don't think we're going to see anything up until, like I said, after the weekend.
You think we get something
That's
before the Philly?
I got to swallow the seed.
I think
after
so.
What's after Philly? The Giants?
Philly is the Giants, right? Because the Philly game is
no, it's
Monday
Atlanta.
the
It's Atlanta.
Atlanta's the second game.
Yeah. So my question is,
22nd.
Atlanta?
do you think if we get someone, which I think
Jeremy,
we will get
Jeremy,
someone.
we're trying to talk here now. Trying to have a conversation. Go ahead.
Fuck you.
And I want your opinion on here and in-depth analysis, okay?
On what?
Do you think I think we bring in a tackle no matter what. I don't think you can really go into the year with McDermott as your 4th tackle. I never thought that was an option. But I don't think we signed somebody before the Philly game. I also don't think we signed somebody before the Atlanta game. I think we only bring in a tackle. If we bring in a tackle, it'll be after the Atlanta game. What say you guys? If we bring a tackle in, when do you think we're bringing them in?
Jeremy, I need a moment to just compose my thoughts.
As soon as as soon as possible. We should bring him in as soon as possible. That's my answer. As soon as possible. I wouldn't wait that long. They got to learn the scheme. I think he should just do it now. Just sign Dwayne Brown now. That's what I say. Sign Dwayne Brown now.
But are you because you want to bring in Brown to start?
Yeah, I just want to bring him in, stick him in there, and start getting.
See, I don't think we're bringing in someone to start.
John Nolte, you're exactly right.
Who's going to start then? Who's going to start? Are you out of your mind? Who are we going to start?
Max or Chuma Edoga? Like I said, I think we have the solution in the house.
Hey, there's always Caleb Benenoch.
Caleb Benenoch is a warm body. He's there because there's a free number.
Yeah. Blitz. I think, Jeremy, Blitz is trying to torture you even further by telling you to get some water for the hot sauce. That only makes it worse. Like when you put tons of water on a fire.
As long as he didn't put in another $20 donation, because if he does, that means I have to do another one right now. Oh, God,
that's no good. It's you got to have like dairy or bread. I'm not going to get into the science of it, but yeah, water for hot stuff. It'll give you a little bit of a quick relief, but it's only going to make it worse at the end of the day. You need dairy or you need some bread.
That's what I'm trying so hard not to. I'm trying so hard not to drink anything because I don't want to run it through my system so quickly.
$29 more for the Reaper. Oh my gosh. Guys, we got 20 minutes left. 20 minutes. Can we do this?
No, don't. It's okay. You guys have been more than generous. I appreciate it. We've been more than generous. Really happy. Because if somebody was to do a 20 and then we quickly got to 100, I'd have to do another one of the Twisted Sister and I would have to do the Reaper.
You know what's serious when he loses the glasses?
I didn't think about it.
That's fascinating. Yeah, when the glasses go, it's serious.
Yeah, I might just keep them off a little bit for a while.
Eminon,
what do you want me to do? Grandizer? I can't drink. I've got liver issues, and I don't have hot sauce in the house because I'm a little girl and I can't handle heat. There's nothing I can do.
Jeremy, you're going red now.
How about an entire can of Arizona iced tea? Guzzle.
I'm out.
That's a bummer. Eminon,
yeah, it is. It is a bummer.
AVT has played left tackle. AVT has never played right tackle. Not even.
I don't want AVT at tackle.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but it's like I don't want to keep messing with his head. We have such a good player. I don't guard to guard. Okay, I get it, but left guard to right tackle, that's pushing it a little bit now. I can't.
My thing is our interior of the offensive line is so good. I don't want to do anything to mess around with it.
Grandizer's teasing it, man.
What do you mean he's teasing it?
I just put that at $20 or $50. It says I got $20.
Yeah, but it's I don't see. There's no super chats. I'm good.
Okay, just making sure you knew.
Okay, I'm good.
I'm good.
Oh man, he's telling me I got to drink Epsom salt. Some lunatics out there.
Is that like a TikTok thing now? That's probably the latest TikTok sensation, I would think.
I've had everything. On my Cravat Attack channel, I eat blue cheese dressing after I do my shot.
Jesus.
Okay, yes, I've seen that. Yep, I've seen that.
It doesn't help much. I got to be honest with you. What helps is now I get like a McDonald's double cheeseburger. And after I do the hot sauce, when I'm really suffering, I just start eating the cheeseburger.
Yeah, all the cheese and the fat and the grease. Fat,
yeah.
It's a good idea. I never thought of something like that. That's brilliant.
You know, after that sauce, I'd probably be so desperate, even I would probably eat McDonald's. That's saying a lot. I have not eaten McDonald's in over 30 years. That's truth.
Actually brilliant, John Nolte. I got enough money to buy a new microphone and an ulcer. Yay!
Okay, I'm safe now. Things have calmed down, so let's go back to the show.
Your launch angle's doing okay over there.
I always, man, it's like some of the sauce gets stuck in the mustache and it just keeps getting into my lip.
So,
Ooh, I never even thought of it like that.
Yeah. Hey, Chad, we got about 20 minutes or so to go. If you have any
Okay.
questions for us or anything you'd like us to address, throw it in the comments, whatever you have in mind.
It's just
Still at 71? Okay.
So so I do want to say that yeah, we were talking about Zach. He had a great practice, and somebody said Zach doesn't need the applause, but I need the applause. For a
It would
year
be
and a half,
nice.
people are beating him up, beating me up,
Yeah.
punishing me. They point out every bad thing he does. I need people to start acknowledging, you know, it means I'm not saying practice is practice. You got to do it in a regular season game. He's got to win. But it's not, we can't sit there and say it's not a good thing that the guy, the last 3 or 4 practices, is on fire. He's throwing bullets. He's hitting people in the chest. He's making beautiful throws. And Elijah Moore made a beautiful catch today. And by the way, Elijah Moore is lighting it up. He is going to go nuts this year. He is lighting it up.
I'm going to ask a question about Elijah
him.
Moore.
They cannot cover Elijah Moore.
Nobody
No
can
one
cover him.
No one can cover this kid.
Sauce Gardner
Question.
can give it a shot. Go ahead.
Question.
Go, Tigo.
Does Elijah Moore,
Thank you.
barring injury, knock on all the wood everywhere, right? Does Elijah Moore, playing the way that he's playing right now, does he make it to the Pro Bowl?
So how many? Okay, so let's think about this because you don't do in the Pro Bowl. It's no longer AFC versus NFC, right? You just pick the best players. How many wide receivers make it to the Pro Bowl? Was it 8? Is it 4 on each team? Is it 5 on each team?
No, I thought it still is AFC, NFC.
I don't think it is anymore. I think they just pick.
No, I'm pretty sure it's still AFC, NFC.
This shows how much attention we pay to the Pro Bowl, but then again,
Right.
Can you really blame us? So, I mean, hypothetically, let's just say it was the top 5 receivers in the AFC. Could he be a top 5 receiver in the AFC this year? Well, I mean, if we kind of go through this, I mean, here's the thing. If you factor in fan voting, they're going to go for the names at first. They're going to vote for – if Tyreek Hill and Elijah Moore have similar statistical seasons, Tyreek Hill is going to get the edge regardless. But then you throw in like a Stephon Diggs. You could throw in a Keenan Allen. There's all kinds of plays. Jamar Chase, of course. Jalen
Jamar
Waddle.
Chase makes it, right? Like,
Chase makes it. Diggs makes it.
Jefferson makes it. That's NFC.
Oh, okay. You were going NFC on that one.
No. I messed up. That's
okay.
I could have swore the Vikings were in the AFC, and then I was
That's
like, "Wait, you're an idiot. They're in the NFC."
I'm like, oh, it's a trick question. Okay. Colts have Pittman. The Titans have Robert Woods at this point, and Treylon Burks. Nope. Jaguars, please. Christian Kirk and his $17 million. Texans, that's funny. Brandon Cooks. The Chiefs are a weird. Well, Devontae
they don't have
Adams
a wide receiver.
Devontae Adams.
Okay.
Can't forget Adams.
Does he make it? Even being in Vegas with Derek Carr, that's a big drop. I love Derek Carr. Let me say that. I'm a big fan of Derek Carr's, but he's not Aaron Rodgers.
You don't necessarily have to have the best statistical season. You just have to have perception, have a few highlight plays, and be seen like on social media.
Just saying, Elijah Moore catches one up the middle and runs it for 45 yards.
That'd be nice.
He's going to do it 3 or 4 times this year.
Yeah. The Broncos have like a bunch of receivers, but nobody that I would necessarily call a marquee wide receiver. I mean, Sutton, I'm not feeling. Patrick's out for the year. Jerry Jeudy. Who's the Chiefs' number 1 receiver now? At wide receiver.
Travis Kelce.
Wide receiver, though, not tight end.
Yeah, no, I answered the question correctly. You're not accepting the answer.
No, I'm
that's
not.
The
Correct
answer.
Let me know when Elijah Moore becomes a tight end, then I'll consider it a correct answer. So
I'm just saying, Travis Kelce's their number 1 wide receiver and tight end, and probably running back.
Just like Mike Gesicki is the Dolphins as a slot receiver over there. Okay, I see.
Yeah, he's just a big boy slot who happens to wear an 80 number. This is actually brilliant.
Jeremy will give us play-by-play of the colonoscopy.
I'm serious. If I ever
My mom's having one tomorrow.
If I get a super snacker, one of the things they're going to be allowed to do is I'm going to let them come into on a Zoom call. So if I ever got any or one, it doesn't matter. I'll go on a Zoom call and I'm going to eat a full dinner and they get to just watch me and comment. They get to do
Here comes the
commentary
Corey
as I
Davis hate.
eat dinner.
Yeah, here comes the Corey Davis hate. Yeah, it's practice, and we haven't actually seen them, so I'd like to see what kind of coverage there was. No, I'm not. Yeah, I don't care. I am not getting hung up on when somebody does in a scrimmage. I'm still in the Corey Davis corner, and I will be until I have a reason to no longer be in this corner. I remain a Corey Davis fan and proud of it.
Look.
And then you have Amari Cooper in Cleveland, just to get back to the
Nope.
AFC North. I don't.
With Josh Rosen
Pittsburgh,
throwing the
no.
ball to him. Come on.
As
much as I love George Pickens, he's not a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, be Brissett. Yeah, probably Brissett or Rosen.
I'm saying Rosen,
Pittsburgh.
just 'cause of the lulz.
Deontay Johnson. No, but who's throwing them the ball again? Same thing. Ravens, please. That's a laugh with their wide receiver core. Aaron, settle down. Okay.
Yeah, before Aaron.
All right,
comes in
Aaron's
talking
high.
about Bateman or Duvernay, whatever his.
Aaron,
Come on,
go to bed.
It's stupid. It's just stupid. He's a homer. I mean, he's a homer.
He's
I can't
allowed to be a homer, and I like Bateman. But
no, I
come
can't
on, Lamar
respect
doesn't have an
somebody.
arm to throw.
I can't respect somebody and take them seriously if they're going to say every player on their team is amazing. Every player is amazing to this guy. Every running back is amazing. Every linebacker, likely, who's never taken a snap in the NFL, he's amazing. Lamar is great. Last year didn't happen. Lamar is great. People were dropping Lamar in fantasy for the guy from Burks from Philly. Okay, but like every player on the Ravens is amazing to this guy. They're all Hall of Famers, every one of them. I mean, give me a break. I'm not saying the Ravens aren't a great team and a great organization, but every one of them is a Hall of Famer, and none of the Jets are good. None of them can compete with his amazing Hall of Fame players. It doesn't matter who we draft. It doesn't matter who we get. Quinnen Williams is garbage because the Ravens' offensive line is so amazing. Quinnen Williams won't be able to do anything. I mean, it's a broken record already. And the thing is if they were playing New England the first week, then the New England chats would have to hear all this crap for 3 months. The guy is acting like it's a one-game season. He doesn't. I don't even think he goes into other people's chats. He comes into only the Jets because we happen to be the team he's playing first. Why don't you go into Buffalo's chat and talk up stuff? Go into Miami. Go into New England. You're playing all those teams. Well, I don't understand because we're playing you first. We have to hear you for 3 months talk about how everybody that puts on a Ravens freaking uniform is a Hall of Famer. Guy, get real. Okay? Get real. Get a grip. Yeah, maybe you'll win the game. Maybe you're a better team. You've been the better organization. But stop acting like you have freaking 53 Hall of Famers and we're so elite because I guarantee you 12 months ago you were saying the same thing. And did you even make the playoffs last year? And Lamar Jackson, the Lamar the Great, is an average quarterback, middle of the league right now, if you're lucky, because he's on the decline, buddy. Watch the tape last year. Lamar Jackson is inaccurate, and as soon as the league figured it out and put pressure on him, he buckled like a little baby. So worry that your Lamar Jackson is even adequate anymore because your days of having a top 5 quarterback are over. Lamar Jackson is out of that conversation, my friend, and that's facts. Done.
I got a prediction. Well, I don't know who the wide receivers are going to be in the AFC for the Pro Bowl, but I know who the 3 quarterbacks are going to be. You can take this to the bank. Lamar Jackson, Tyler Huntley, and Brett Hundley. Oh, I'm sorry. That's from Aaron Butler. Yeah. The Ravens' second and third string quarterbacks will represent the AFC in the Pro Bowl. That's pretty much on the level that we have gone to here. So.
Look, I'm totally on board with being a homer for your team, but like the realistic thing is that like the Ravens are going to have an uphill battle. They're going into that game, in my opinion, as the underdogs. That's just a fact. You've got a whole new defensive scheme and not a single wide receiver that's worth a damn. And a quarterback that's only a running back taking snaps under center. Let's just say.
By the way, how's Kyle Hamilton doing in coverage? He's making Ashton Davis look like.
Can I finally, since he's not on our team, thank the Lord. Can I finally say that I was right about Kyle Hamilton? That all of these Kyle Hamilton truthers. At this
point, I know
that I said that he's a box safety and nothing more. He was built to cover tight ends, and that's all he can do. That if you ever ask him to play in coverage, he's a massive liability. Can I Can I get my, hey, Tigo, you know what? You were right. Kyle Hamilton was not worthy of being a top 15 pick. You're absolutely right. He was just barely better than your Jalen Petries and your other guys. He just got hyped up because he's like 6'4".
Yeah, Jaquan Brisker's and
That's his name, Jaquan Brisker.
Yeah, I like me some Brisker.
I liked Brisker.
Well, Jeremy and I both like Brisker because
but Petrie is killing it in Houston. Have you seen what Petrie's been doing in Houston?
I don't I'm not really following DJ Bieniemy on Twitter at this point. I can't say I am.
I have a friend who's a Houston Texans fan, so like we'll talk. Oh. Yeah,
I didn't know they had.
We'll talk. I didn't know they had fans either.
That's amazing.
I found one in the wild, but he exists. But he'll send me we'll send clips, right? Like whenever Zach is throwing to Elijah Moore, I'll put it in the chat and all of that stuff. But like seeing some of the things that Petrie is doing, and it's not like he's doing it to the twos or anything. Like he's doing against like Brandon Cooks, and like I was like, well, damn, go moss that man. Like I'm excited to see what Petrie is going to be able to do on that horrible, horrible team.
Well, Lovie Smith's a pretty good defensive coach, so I know he wanted a toy, and he's got a pretty good one. So in Petrie, that's definitely. Hey, I wanted a safety in the draft. We didn't do that, but we addressed a whole lot of other needs. So I can't really complain too much about that. But no, I still maintain the Ravens are our toughest matchup. My biggest thing is I hope we can get a lead, especially in that first game. I don't want to be in a position where they can control the clock with their run game. I want Jackson to have to throw the ball down the field, and then we can pin our ears back, rush the passer, and our secondary can bottle up these mediocre at best to disappointing wide receivers. Did you hear me, Aaron? I said it. That's what I want. Get up early, keep the crowd in it, because if the Ravens go up, say, double digits by halftime, the crowd is going to be miserable.
Gone. Crowd's gone.
You have to. The crowd wants to believe. Hey, Robert Saleh, Zach Wilson, I know you're never going to watch this video, but if you do, remember, we all want to scream. We want to cheer from MetLife Stadium to Chicago, to Florida, to Texas, to California. There are Jet fans all over the country. We want to take our jerseys out, put them on, scream, and be proud. Make us believe and keep our faith going, because we want to believe, but it's your job to make us proud of this team.
Yeah, I'm on board, man.
Yep. What I'm wondering about is, first of all, I saw a lot of interesting conversation and clips with DJ Reed was the one covering Elijah, which was interesting to me. And it was interesting because the coverage was really good, but Elijah was still making the play. But it wasn't one of those things where you're like, oh, but is Reed doing a bad job? He wasn't. Like the coverage was really good. Elijah cut across, got a tiny bit of space, reached out, made an amazing grab. Zach put it in the only place he could have put it that it could have been a completion.
I'm glad you said it that way.
Because if he would have thrown it to his chest, even like a direct pass, Reed would have knocked it down. It had to be that he reached out. Oh, what happened there? No, whoa, what happened? Whoa, I don't know what happened there. But
let me ask you this question regarding that.
He had to reach out to make that pass. So it was a perfect play by both Zach Wilson and Elijah Moore. Go ahead.
I have a question regarding that situation, right? So obviously we don't want our players hurting our own players, of course. How much of that, because I'm thinking about that ball and that catch and that coverage from DJ Reed. DJ Reed played that almost perfectly, right? He was exactly where he was supposed to be. He played that really, really well. But when I watched that play, I saw DJ Reed and I said, why didn't DJ Reed try to jump in front or try to really get physical on him? And my question goes, do you think that maybe, that our defensive backs are being told, or maybe because they don't want to hurt our wide receivers, aren't maybe getting as aggressive at the catch point as they should Do you think that we might see a little bit of that going on? Because I look at that play and I go, DJ Reed did everything perfect on that play, except Zach put it exactly where it needed to be. And Elijah played that really, really well and had really, really strong hands. But like, I look at that and I go, DJ could have really just like really gotten all up in Elijah at that point and really made it a hard catch for him. But he said, no, I'm going to play this normal. Like, is he playing it safe because he would have rather had the tackle, or is that how they're being trained? I'm just curious on your guys' take there.
My answer is I sincerely hope not, because if you get into these players' minds during practice to not be aggressive, to me, that carries over. To me, you have to, hey, where's all gas, no break, right? Now, I know that's not just about how you play on the field. I understand that. I understand that. But to me, if you want an aggressive, violent defense, and that Robert Saleh has used those words a lot, he's used the word violent, then to me, that is going against his defensive philosophy if he is telling these defensive players to not give their best or to play a certain way that they would not want to play during the course of the game, if that makes sense.
No,
So
makes
to
a lot of
me,
sense.
I cannot imagine that is going on, and I sincerely hope that it isn't.
Notice plays so far for Captain Zach.
Some people love Corey Davis and some people hate Corey Davis. He is so polarizing. It's unbelievable.
I know.
Some people love and hate literally everybody. We can't just have people lukewarm on players as Jets fans. Like, you can't just like somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hate him, but I don't love him. Like, the way that I'm with, like, Ty Johnson, I don't hate Ty Johnson. Like, if he's on the roster, I'm not that upset about it. But there are people that would absolutely burn their Jets jerseys if Ty Johnson is running back 3. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, it's not that serious.
I'd like to hear about Jacob Martin because I didn't have any info on him. So Justin is somebody who goes to the games. He's there. He's in. He talks to a lot of people constantly. It's like really good to hear that.
Jacob Martin's got 4
Jacob
sacks.
Martin's doing well. That's exactly what we need, man.
He's the third highest sack number on the team since pads have gone up. That's not including today's practice.
Number 2.
Quinnen with 5.
Carl and Q, yeah.
It's Carl at 6, Q at 5, Jacob Martin, and then one other at 4. I don't remember who it was.
I thought it was JJ. I thought JJ had a couple by now.
I have no idea. I thought it was
JJ. I've seen him at least 2 or 3 times with sacks. Like, I already had a multi-sack game.
I'll tell you the best part of it for me. It's not. I mean, it's great that Carl Lawson has 6 sacks, but what's even better is that means he may have done the impossible. He may have beaten this injury. Like, he might actually be back. He might be back from the Achilles for real. Like, not 80% of the guy he was. That's exciting to me because that was my biggest fear.
I think CJ has 3.
Really? I haven't heard about CJ getting a sack.
CJ, we got a couple of linebackers with like 1 or 2. I think CJ has 3, and I think Sauce. I know Sauce has 1 credited to him.
Hmm.
I think Quincy.
I know Tim Ward had at least 1. I know Tim Ward's had at least 1 or 2. I remember his name.
Man, I wish I saved the tweet. I really wish I did. I didn't. But yeah, guy, he's been counting all of the sacks throughout camp since pads have gone on.
Well, you know what? On Friday it starts all over, and that's when it really starts to. Yeah. It doesn't count, but it counts, if that makes sense. Because the practice, I mean, how much does? What do you think? I guess this is an interesting question. How do you compare? How would we weigh the value of these practices and these scrimmages as opposed to the exhibition games? What do we put more weight on, and how much more weight do we put on one versus the other?
I think the weight has to go on preseason, the other games.
But how much? I mean, do you think
like 70-30?
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because it's you get into a rhythm, right? Like, this is why you're gonna see. I've never been a fan of like.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay.
Have a good one, Jay. I've never been a fan of like how long camp is, in the sense of like how long it is where it's just you practicing against your own guys. I've always thought that like we should be doing joint practices a little earlier in the season, in the off season, because you get into bad habits. Like when you play George Fant for every snap, Like you're gonna figure out what George Fant does. And that's where I don't like. That's why I like these offseason, like these games and these joint practices and these things like that. Like my thing is like Philly is so close. Why are we not joint practicing with them? If we're preseasoning with Philly is so close. We should have had 2 or 3 joint practices with them.
Yeah,
because we should be seeing different bodies and seeing different plays and seeing different things. Like, tell me going up against Philly's ones wouldn't be the best preparation for week 1. They're the closest team to what the Ravens are doing because Jalen Hurts is just a mini Lamar who actually has an arm. Not a good one, but he's at least decently accurate.
Guys,
so it's just like.
By the way, Dark Soldier, Thursday, August 25th, there will be a Jets-Giants practice at the Giants training facility. So basically at the Meadowlands. Do you remember when the Jets and the the Commanders had their yeah, we know it. Yeah, we know the deal. But by the way, one of the most ridiculous things I think I've ever seen, somebody put up the last 10 NFC East division winners and they put Commanders for like, what was it, 2012 or something like that, like trying to make us think that they were the Commanders back then. It was just insulting. But that aside, yeah. So you have the mutual practice, but you get some fights during those. I think a lot of teams think it's risky. I mean, Carl Lawson. That's when Carl Lawson got hurt. Was during that Jets Packers practice.
Yeah, it's always risky.
There's a risk to it.
It's risky, but it's also it's when you do it against different guys. It's like it's a different way of sharpening the knife. You know, we do have to go. So, guys, give out your stuff. Grandize has been doing it the whole time. But is there anything coming up that you want to talk about real fast?
I'll go. Yep. Yeah. Check me out at on Twitter. I'm at WatchUK_1999. NY Sports Wicker Media is the YouTube channel, and my blog for sports articles, nysportswickermedia.blogspot.com. My latest video is a very short rant, a New York Rangers rant, ranting on my fellow Rangers fans complaining about the captain, the choice of captaincy, and man up and stop whining about the captain already.
Tigo?
So making my videos online at Talking Jets with Tigo. Got some things in the works on maybe some like writing opportunities to like do some articles and stuff like that to partner along with my videos. I've been trying to get into the written space. So keep an eye out there. Currently doing a giveaway on my channel to celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers. I think I might have waited too long because I'm about to hit 1,100. But if you are subscribed to the channel by Saturday, I will be giving away. You get your choice of either an Elijah Moore rookie card, very nice and shiny, or you can get these 5 other rookie cards. You can get one or the other, and I'll send it to you free just to say thank you for hitting 1,000 subscribers. But other than that, follow me on Twitter to hear the announcement. And I'm always hanging out with these guys everywhere and doing live streams and trying to do stuff. But yeah, that's really it.
And Tio, thanks for joining us tonight, man. We appreciate it. And
thanks for having me.
Yeah, before Jeremy does his usual close down, I also want to thank the chat, everybody who participated, everybody who joined, and certainly everybody who gave a little bit, not just their time, but their little bit of cash as well. We thank you very much for helping us to entertain the group. Well, even if Jeremy wasn't entertained, but the rest of us were.
Guys, it was an absolute pleasure. Thanks to both of you. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks for the super chats. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to Buffalo Jets fan who we haven't called out, who's been in and out. Appreciate your support as always. And everybody in there, my new members, my new snackers, I appreciate you. Guys, I'll be back again. Saturday is 4:00 p.m. Eastern. You're going to see me and my brothers try a new hot sauce. We're going to do a crossover episode. It's going to be on this channel. So you could see me on 4 p.m. with my brothers Eastern as we suffer through a very painful, very hot pucker butt sauce. On Sunday, I'll be back Sunday night with a show. I'm going to have a guest. I'm also giving away my giveaway for the 1,000 subs on Sunday. Sunday is the big day. Remember, that is going to be a Tier 3 membership to Green Bean Jets fans channel, his Patreon membership. So that gets you to, you're going to get to be on Green Bean show. You're going to get to go to his private Zooms every Wednesday. It's a $300 value, and you're going to get to have that on, there's going to be a lucky winner on Sunday night, so don't miss it. Be there Sunday night. It'll start at about 8 p.m. You'll see the announcements go out again, but also if you're free on Saturday at 4 p.m., make sure you come onto the channel and watch us eat some hot sauce. And you don't have to give any super chats for that. You get to see that one. We're giving the milk away for free. We're not making you buy the cow. Take care, guys. Good night. And again, thanks, everyone. Couldn't have all of this without you. Take care. Don't not be Thibodeau. And here it comes. It's about to come in. Oh, my God. They didn't. They took Sauce Gardner. Oh my God, they don't want an edge. Maybe he likes Jermaine Johnson at 10. Then we're not going to get a wide receiver? Garrett Wilson, wide receiver. Oh my God, no edge.
Sitting there
The Jets traded up. The Jets traded up. Are we taking JJ? Are we taking JJ? Because I know Braden is in New Zealand saying, we should get Lily, Mike. He's definitely saying that. JJ! We got Johnson! We got Johnson at 26! We got Johnson at 26! This is great! Yes! They took Roger McCreary, they didn't take Dean, and we traded up. We can get the Kobe Dean. We can get the Kobe Dean. It really is. They took Breece Hall. They took Breece Hall. Wow. I mean, look, I love Breece Hall. But there's also Jeremy Ruckert, who I think is the best tight end in the class personally. They took Jeremy Ruckert. He took Jeremy Ruckert. Yes. We got a Jeremy. We got a Jeremy. Oh, and the Jets pick, and it's Max Mitchell, offensive tackle. We needed that. That's wow. We took Michael Clemens. I never heard of him. A defensive edge.